Welcome to Montalcino, land of Brunello. I'm Isabella Duzzi for Web Vision Italy. Winding through the hills of Tuscany, watching the farmhouses slide by one after the other, olive groves, vineyards, you arrive finally at the gates of Montalcino. There are many people who arrive in Montalcino, of course, searching for our great wine, Brunello Di Montalcino. One of the things that's interesting to learn about when you're thinking about Brunello Di Montalcino is where a particular bottle might have come from and where it might have been grown and who it might have been grown by. Because it could be a contadino wine. A contadino is a peasant farmer who lives outside the walls of Montalcino. A cittadino is a village dweller. He lives inside the walls, as his ancestors always have, but he may have a plot of land outside, and so he will go each day to that plot of land to look after his vines. And of course we have wine made by the nobles. The nobles live in the villas and castles out in the countryside. In the piazza of Montalcino, you'll find Enoteca Pierangioli. Here we have a wonderful display of Brunello Di Montalcino, something like 250 different labels. I've selected 4 to show you the 4 zones in which Brunello Di Montalcino is grown. The first one over here is grown by Count Costanti. It's a very famous Brunello Di Montalcino. And Count Costanti's vineyard is in the eastern zone. He produces a wine that can be different in bouquet, and in flavour, in aroma, and in elegance to some of the others. Our second bottle is Primo Pocenti from Canalicchio di Sopra. Primo Pocenti is a contadino wine grower. He has his roots in the countryside, just a few hectares, so you would not call it a noble wine, as you might call the wine of the Count, Count Andrea Costanti. Primo's vineyard is in the east-southeast of Montalcino. It is a different tasting Brunello, even though these 2 Brunellos are made in exactly the same way. The third zone is a San Carlo. We call him Maghino for short, which means the magician. The magician, Maghino, is a cittadino. He lives within the walls of Montalcino, but has a small farm out in the countryside where he grows his Brunello. Maghino is on the western side of Montalcino. That gets much more sun. It's a much different kind of Brunello than the other 2. Finally, we have Barbi, Fattoria Barbi. This is one of our larger growers, internationally known. Stefano Colombini is the proprietor. And this, you would say, is a noble wine, because Stefano Colombini and his family go back many, many, many centuries as aristocratic landowners around Montalcino. They are in the south of Montalcino, and their zone gets more rain for a start. So it can be quite a different Brunello to the others. So here we have 4 different zones where Brunello is grown, and each of those zones will give you an alternative choice in aroma, bouquet, flavour, longevity, structure, complexity, and all the things that Brunello is famous for. So now we're leaving Enoteca Pierangioli. I think it's time that we went to enjoy a glass of fine Brunello di Montalcino. We're going to enjoy a glass of Brunello di Montalcino at Caffè Enoteca Il Leccio. Il Leccio, the emblem, is the oak tree because Montalcino, when it was first settled in the 700s, was covered by a canopy of oak trees. So Il Leccio is a really Montalcinese name. Let's see who's inside today and we'll enjoy a glass of Brunello di Montalcino. There is nothing that wine lovers all over the world enjoy more than to sit down with a glass of superb Brunello di Montalcino. Salute! I'm Isabella Duzzi for Web Vision Italy.